What's up everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a minute, work got really crazy, so now I finally got some time to just sit down and film. This will be one of a few videos that I'm going to film, but what I want to talk about today is some recent purchases, well specifically eyeshadow purchases that I made, and I'm going to kind of give like little mini reviews on in this video. So before we get into anything, you already know what you got to do. Click that subscribe button, hit that bell getting the notifications when I post new videos, and click that like button letting me know you're liking the stuff that I'm putting out. So without wasting any more time, let's get into this video. Alright, so this is the stack of eyeshadows that I'm going to be talking about. So what I'll do is I'll put like the info around, probably on this side, put the info about the palette on this side, like such as pricing and where you can find it, so that if you are interested in any of these, depending on whether I like them or not, you can go get them. So the first I'm going to be talking about are my most recent, I'll just hold them right here. So I'm going to be talking about my most recent Colourpop purchases. So here I have Smoke Show, which is, so let's talk about Smoke Show first. I'll put these right here so I'm not holding them the whole time. So here's Smoke Show. Here's what the inside of Smoke Show looks like. Kind of get a look and see what that looks like. So this is Colourpop's Black and Grape monochromatic palette. I'm actually used it in my eye look today, along with another palette that I'm going to talk about in a second. As you can see, so you can kind of get a look at that. So you can kind of see like this palette for what it is, it's really nice. I mean, the quality of Colourpop shadows, pretty much with every release of these monochromatic palettes, has been consistent. So you may not like that Colourpop is putting out a ton of stuff, but you can't say that their quality is crap. Their quality is consistently good, as you can see. So if you're wanting to just create like a really simple smoky eye, this is gonna be it. And to be quite frank, you can mix this with just about any of the other monochromatic palettes and create something different. So like the other palette that I'm gonna talk about that I mixed this one with is the Lilac, oops, there you go, get out the light. The Lilac You A Lot palette. Here's what the inside looks like. So you can kind of see what the inside of the palette is. I'm trying to turn it that way so you can see it. But yeah, so you can kind of see what this, so this is the pastel baby sister of this one right here, which is It's My Pleasure by Colourpop. So this is the second of purple palettes. So you can kind of see what they kind of look like. Okay, let me open it. This is what they look like side by side. So, I mean, some of the colors are similar, but you can kind of tell a difference. Like, basically, Lilac is much lighter. Whoops. Is much lighter than It's My Pleasure. But again, all the monochromatics are very consistent in their quality. I never have to worry about them not working. They always work for me. The only thing I don't like a lot of times that they do put in some of their monochromatic palettes are their pressed glitters. Those get everywhere. I'm personally not a huge fan of pressed glitter. Just not my cup of tea. But if you're just like, this is just straight metallics and mattes. And some, well no, this one's straight metallic and mattes. In the Smoke Show, you get a glitter matte, which, I mean, you can pretty much use it. Yeah, this shade right here is you can kind of look at it and see it's a glitter matte. So it's a matte shade, but there's glitter in it. I mean, both are of really great quality, and they're not gonna hit your pocketbook that hard. They're only 12 bucks. So so these other two Colourpop purchases that I made are these two. These are the little bird palettes. So Colourpop came out with Bye Bye Birdie, which is like a pinky, almost like a wine pinky palette. But these were like two of the three of the smaller ones. I've been trying to get my hand on Lovebird. I've been trying to get my hands on Lovebird. Every time I go to Ulta, it's sold out. But they just recently announced today online that they will be selling these on their website starting on Monday. So if you've been looking for any of these, they will be on the Colourpop website if you can't find them in Ulta. I'll start with this one. This is the Bird of Paradise palette. Here's what it looks like on the inside, so you can kind of see what the shades look like. This is, I mean, if you're more of like a coral neutral girl, this palette is going to be for you. I really enjoy it. I'll try to post some looks, well, not some, a look that I did using this particular palette. I really enjoy this. I've used this, I want to say twice, and I really enjoy creating looks with this palette. Now, here, the other one that I'm going to talk about here is Night Owl. This is what the inside of Night Owl looks like. It's your standard neutral palette. So if you're looking for just like a nice neutral palette that's not gonna hurt your pocketbook but is also gonna give you some great looks, this is it. Like, both of these are really, really nice. I've seen Lovebird in person. It's pretty. Again, that whole middle row of Lovebird is pressed glitter. So if you're okay with pressed glitter, that's gonna be your jam. Me personally, as much as I like owning collections of things, I may not get that particular palette for the simple fact of that middle row of pressed glitters, and there aren't a lot of other options when it comes to shades. It's basically you get that middle row of pressed glitters, a few mattes, and then like maybe 2 shimmers out of it. So to me, I'm more of like the shimmer and matte rather than a pressed glitter. So me personally, I wouldn't get it. But so far, I mean, again, Colourpop is consistent with their eyeshadow quality, and you're able to get your bang for your buck. So all of these I highly recommend. Now, the next purchase I'm going to talk about is this one. This is my only BH purchase that I've done within the past few months. So this is Summer in Saint-Tropez. This is from their little travel. This is like the latest addition to their travel collection. I know they had what is it? There's the Hawaiian one, then there's the London, and then I think with this one it was Saint-Tropez and Barcelona, if I'm correct. If I'm not, I'll put that info around me. But this is what the inside of the palette looks like. This is a really nice palette. I really enjoy using this palette. I've used it a few times, and the mattes, I mean, the mattes are going to be what they're going to be, but you can build these up, and they build up very nicely, and you can go as light as you want, or you can build to like a really, really deep opacity that is absolutely beautiful. All of these, so you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You get 10 mattes and 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So you get 10 mattes and 6 shimmers in here. And all of these shimmers, especially which one is it? It's these two, Exotic and Coastline right here. They're like duochromes. So it looks like one particular shade in this palette, but it actually kind of shifts a little bit, which I really enjoy. So if you're into bright colors, because this palette is a very bright palette, you're going to enjoy this palette. I personally did. I haven't tried any of the other travel collection shadows. I may get them eventually, just to kind of see what all of them are like, and kind of let you know truly if I recommend their travel collection in comparison to like other companies such as Mavi Cosmetics that has their travel collection, which is really nice. Their most recent edition, I believe, was Take Me to Istanbul. I really want to get that one, but if you're not wanting to spend $23 on a palette that's pretty much this size, you can get this one, and it's a mid-size palette. So, but I highly recommend this one. So next on my list I got these two Makeup Revolution palettes. When I was looking at Ulta online, I was hitting up, I believe, one of their sales. So this is the Makeup Revolution and Tammy X Tropical Carnival palette. Here is what it looks like on the inside. Trying to block the mirror so you know all that light don't get on you. This is a mostly matte palette. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you get 11 mattes and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 7 shimmers. So you get 11 mattes and 7 shimmers. So if you're more of a matte person, this palette's going to be great. But if you like the mixture of matte and shimmer, it's going to be a win for you. The palette's okay. The mattes, in my opinion, perform better than some of the shimmers in here. Like this shimmer, like the purples, whoops. The purple shimmers are fine, but I can tell you right now, this green right here, this lime green, is a complete dud. Like, it was pretty much all gone from my eye by the end of the day. It's not really worth, and it wasn't even in my inner corner. I used it on my lid. I even wet my brush, and it was still really weak when it came to the punch of color. So, I mean, I would say out of this palette, this green is an absolute dud. I haven't tried, I mean, as you can kind of tell, I haven't hit up these yet, but I'm pretty sure, again, certain shades as shimmers, you can't really go wrong with them, but the mattes do make a difference. And so these, I mean, the mattes, to me, the mattes work really well. So I have no complaints in that department. But yeah, like, this palette's okay, in my personal opinion. So if you want kind of just like a decent price palette with some bright colors, you can run with this one. The other Revolution palette I got is the Makeup Revolution and Patricia Bright palette. Apologies for my massive amounts of fingerprints on this, but yeah, so here is what the palette looks like. Guys, this palette's got some weight to it. This is it's like it's metal, but it's not like uber expensive metal, but it's a nice palette. So here is what, now you get this massive mirror, but here is what the inside of the palette looks like. So again, you get two pressed glitters right here in the shades Flames and Whale. Pretty sure I'm not pronouncing that right. But then you get this, then you get Honey Pot, Love Song, No Exit, Dessert. Let's see, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You get 6 shimmers, 2 pressed glitters, and the rest of the shades in this palette are mattes. Like, they're just straight mattes. Now, obviously, Honey right here and No Exit are cream shades. So it's best to use these with a finger. You'll get more bang for your buck with a finger than you will with a brush. But if you kind of need to get into that inner corner, a brush will do just fine. I haven't really tried the pressed glitters. Again, I'm not a huge fan of pressed glitter. So for me, these are going to be, I'm sure I'll use these one day, but for right now, they're a hard pass. The mattes in this palette are pretty good. I'm like, they worked really well. They went on the eye quite nicely. I was pleasantly surprised by this palette. I think I created a green look with this palette that I'll put over here to kind of show you what this palette can do. And it's a nice palette. I want to say this one was 15 bucks and it's worth every penny. I really enjoy like this, because sometimes Revolution can be hit or miss. And like, I mean, this, like, to me, this one is okay, but like this one is actually quite nice. These cream shades go on very nicely with a finger. And then if you need to like kind of touch up a little bit, you can take a brush in there, or really honestly just kind of take your finger and just kind of pat it in, and you'll be good to go if you make like any minor mistakes. So overall, I really enjoyed this palette. This palette is quite nice. And my last palette that I'll be talking about is just kind of a interesting little find that I did on Crown brushes. I finally ventured into getting some brushes from Crown, and I looked in there. I was like, let me look at their eyeshadow palettes and see what they got. So I found this one. This is the Cosmo collection palette. You're going, again, this is pretty much like a Morphe palette, but not quite. This is what the inside of the palette looks like. You get a lot of, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 shimmers, and you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 mattes in here. So again, this is what the palette looks like. I was pleasantly surprised by this little palette, because I had heard from other people in the group that Crown eyeshadows are pretty much kind of duds. I was pleasantly surprised by this particular palette. It did really beautiful things. Like the some of the shimmer, now I can tell y'all right now, these two shimmers right here, the two neutral shimmers, duds. Straight duds. All the rest of the shimmers in here though are quite nice. They are very, very nice. I was pleasantly shocked by this palette, especially for how much I spent for it. It was on sale for $4.95. Now I can't guarantee that it's the same right now. It might have gone back to its original price. I forget what it is. I'll post it up. Again, I'll post all the information on this side. But I was pleasantly surprised by this palette. The shimmers in here are quite nice. They swatch nicely. Again, except for these two shades. These are duds. But overall, these were some nice palettes. This was a nice palette. I don't complain too often about palettes unless they were just complete and utter garbage. Like by the time the day was over, the shadow was gone. These pretty much stayed on pretty much all day. So I didn't really have to worry about anything. But I'm the type of person where with eyeshadow palettes, I tend to try and make it work. So if you are looking for something kind of not going to hit your pocketbook but gives you a lot of options with colors, this is a good palette. Again, this one is called Cosmo Collection. It's the hot pink palette, but yeah. So those are all of my shadows that I purchased recently, and I'll leave all the information below where you can find them if you're interested in any of them. But before we head out, you already know what you got to do. Hit that subscribe button, click that bell, gain notifications when I post new videos. And until next time, guys. Deuces.